Now when Sayyidina Hassan radiallahu ta'ala anhu handed over the Khulafa to Sayyidina Muawiyah radiallahu ta'ala anhuma, so now Muawiyah radiallahu ta'ala an, we call him Imamul Wahda, that now he was a muttafaq and agreed upon Khalifa. So number one, he crushed very badly the Khawarij and he controlled that fitna. And then Himyari and Mudari Qabail, they were making lot of uprising. So he controlled them as well. And in this regard, this is mention worthy to mention that he appointed such like governors in different part of the Khulafa who were a good supporters to Muawiyah radiallahu ta'ala in control of situation. Number one, he appointed Ziyad ibn Sumayya first in Basra, the governor of Basra, and he appointed Mughira ibn Shu'bah radiallahu ta'ala the governor of Kufa. When Mughira ibn Shu'bah passed away, so he handed over the Kufa province also to Ziyad ibn Sumayya. And Ziyad ibn Sumayya, he was also a talented man. As we mentioned last night, that his father was unknown, that's why he is attributed to his mother Sumayya. But later on, Sayyidina Muawiyah, he claimed him that he is my brother, because his mother in the time of Jahiliyyah was the keep of my father. So later on, he was called as Ziyad ibn Abi Sufyan. But he was a talented man. And then he appointed Amr ibn al-As radiallahu ta'ala an first in Misr. And Amr ibn al-As, he remained the governor of Misr for 5 years in the time of Umar radiallahu an. And therefore another 5 years in the time of Usman radiallahu ta'ala an. But later on, Misr was in the control of Ali, and this Amr ibn al-As radiallahu ta'ala an, he got it from the army of Ali. So once again he became the governor of Misr, and until his death he was the governor of Misr. And as I mentioned time and again, that 5 Sahaba are known for being the statesmen. So one is Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu an. Second one is Amr ibn al-As. The third one is Mughira ibn Shu'bah. The fourth one is Sayyid ibn Amir. And the fifth one is Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan. So once again, Umar ibn al-Khattab, Amr ibn al-As, Mughira ibn Shu'bah, Sayyid ibn Amir, and Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan, Rizwanullah alayhim ajma'in. But it is also mention worthy that the stability in the Khilafat of Muawiyah came because of these governors, especially Amr ibn al-As, who was called Dahiyatul Arab. Conquests. Next chapter is conquests. When Muawiyah radiallahu ta'ala controlled the internal fitnas and uprising, as we mentioned before, that Himyar and Mudar, they were two big fighting tribes. So when they accepted Islam, so in the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, or even in the time of Abu Bakr and Umar radiallahu anhuma, nothing happened between them which could be mentioned. Also, in the first 6 years of the Khilafat of Usman, Raziyallahu ta'ala an. That was also okay. But later on, when the Mufsideen, because of the instigation of outsiders, I told you that in first 6 years, Sayyidina Usman, he was going all around in 4 dimension like a wind blow, and he was conquering the areas. So he went all the way to Urumqi. Where? Where is Urumqi? In China. And he conquered the Central Asia. He conquered the Africa and took it by Uqba ibn Amir raziyallahu ta'ala up to the ocean. And Uqba ibn Amir, he looked at the heaven, even though he put his horse, his first 2 legs in the ocean water, and he said that, oh Allah, we had given a promise and a word to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that we will spread your deen in the whole world. I came up to here. Still I want to go ahead. But as you have created this world of physics, and you said that physical means are needed, I don't have it. But still, I put my horse in the ocean. Yes, to make my intention clear that I am very much ready. If that was where your Sharia, I would have jumped in the ocean. But your Sharia is other way around. So Africa and Asia that far, and by doing so, he was knocking at the doors of Europe. Got it? And thus, as you know, that European, yes, they are a different nasal. So they said that this man, we cannot face him in the battlefield. So let's create for him some trouble inside. Yes? So in every country, inside there are some people who are looking for fasad, number 1. And also they are looking for some compensation. Yes? So there are paid people. They are on payroll to create problem for their own state. So that's how Abdullah ibn Sabah, he started his fitna. Saba'iyya. Got it? So, then when Sayyidina Usman raziyallahu ta'ala, he got martyred. So after that, we mentioned in detail in the lifetime of Usman, in the biography of Ali and the biography of Muawiyah, Rizwanullahi alayhim ajma'een, that battles happened. Now the next chapter is the conquest of Khurasan and Hind. Certain areas of Sindh. Sindh is a part of Pakistan. A portion of that is in India as well. So certain parts of Sindh, which is adjacent to Khurasan, and Khurasan is starting from that Central Asia and coming down up to Iran. And Irani border, that is with Sindh as well. Got it? So that area in Sindh, the Amir of Muawiyah raziyallahu ta'ala was Abdullah ibn Sawar. He fought there in the battle for 2 times, but in the second battle he got martyred. Then Muhallab ibn Abi Sufra, he fought there and he took his army, the army of Muawiyah, up to Lahore in Pakistan, Punjab. In Baitalis or 42 Hijri, Muawiyah raziyallahu ta'ala appointed on Khurasan his governor Qais ibn al-Haytham. In his time, even though the area was conquered before, but yes, Nasim, hold yourself. Herat, Badghis and Balkh, they broke the pledge. You were not there. So anyhow, yes. What do you think? Huh? Okay. So Badghis, Herat and Balkh, nowadays there are 3 provinces of Afghanistan. So they broke their promise. So Qais ibn al-Haytham, he came to Balkh. And they had one worship place of theirs known by the name of Nawbahar. So Qais ibn al-Haytham, he destroyed that. Then the people submitted and they asked for peace and for shelter. So Qais ibn al-Haytham says, we had given to you before, but something happened to you people, I don't know. What's wrong with you? But again, he gave him the shelter. Now when the people of Badghis, Herat and Bushanj, when they came to know that what happened to people in Balkh, that he was cutting them. So Abdullah ibn Hazim, who was taking some stuff to Abdullah ibn Amir in Basra, so they asked him, if you can ask shelter and peace for us from Qais ibn al-Haytham. And when Ziyad ibn Sumayya, he became the governor of Basra in 45. So he sent Amir ibn Ahmad to Marw, Khalid ibn Abdullah al-Hanafi to Abar Shahar, Qais ibn Haytham to Marwar Rose, Taluqan and Faryab. All these are Afghanistan provinces. Nafi ibn Khalid al-Takhi, who was from Azd tribe, so he sent him to Herat, Badghis, Bushanj, Qadis, and he sent Hakam ibn Amr al-Ghifari, the governor of Khurasan. After him, Rabi ibn Ziyad al-Harisi became the governor. And when Ziyad passed away, so then the Khurasan governor was his son Ubaidullah ibn Ziyad. Yes, a dirty man. Got it? He was at that time a young man of 25 years. He arrived up to Bekand. And the Amira means a queen type. And the Amira of Bukhara, who was a wasiya or a caretaker on her own son, who was the actual king of that area. So now, Ubaidullah ibn Ziyad, he forced her towards a peace treaty. She asked help from Turkish people, but the Muslims defeated them. And now the Amira, she was asking for peace herself. And thus the Muslims entered to the city of Bekand. Once again she tried to break the promise and the pledge. But again she got surrendered. So then under the leadership of Sayyid ibn Usman, the Muslims entered into Bukhara. And after a very hard battle, they entered into Samarkand, Ghazni, Kabul, Kandahar, Tirmiz, behind Nari Amu. Tirmiz, the city of Imam Tirmizi. So all these are captured by the Muslim from year number 41 up to year number 45. The next chapter is the important chapter. And that is the chapter of Constantinople or Constantinople. In a hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, because at that time, the Christianity center was Constantinople, Constantinople. Now it is called Istanbul. Now its name is Istanbul. So that was actually the center of Christianity, and not only of Christianity, but that was a center of shaitanat for the whole world. I don't know what's wrong with these Christians. Yes, that they are spreading this fasad all over the world every time. Yes? So as they were causing trouble to the whole world and especially to the Muslim area, so Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, this center has to be demolished. But that center, it was not approachable. It was not approachable, especially from Muslims' side. There was no way towards that. Yes, we went to that area where the fort is. Still that is. Yes, the remains are there. You see it?
Yes.
Yes. So the ocean is there. What is there? The ocean is there. So at that time, that was the only way to go there, the ocean. But what they had done, from the bottom up to the surface, the big anchors, the chains, they have filled up the ocean with that, so the ship was unable to sail towards that. Got it? So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in one hadith that whosoever will conquer Constantinople, he will be my adjacent neighbor in Jannah. And that's why Sayyidina Muawiyah radiyallahu ta'ala an, he was the first one who tried but couldn't succeed. And a few others after him. But this was written in the destiny of Sultan Muhammad al-Fatih. Yes. What they call him there? Mehmed Sultan. They call him what? Mehmed Sultan. So I was there with Abu Ayyub Ansari radiyallahu ta'ala an. So he was reciting Quran and sitting there for. Then we went to Mehmed Sultan. So I was sitting there for a long time. Yes, unintentionally. I spent more time. So then my daughter asked me that, with Abu Ayyub Ansari, you did not spend that much time. And with Mehmed Sultan, you spend a lot of time. I said, actually, yes, greed caught me here. So they said, what greed? I said that he will be adjacent neighbor of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So every big shot here, especially in our area, if there is a big shot who is living in a castle, so at the main entrance, there is a house. There is a house. And that is called servant quarter. Yes. In certain area that is called annexi. So annexi is for the chief servant of the big shot. So I was making a request and putting up an application to Mehmed Sultan that you will be having annexi in the main entrance. You will be adjacent neighbor of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So can you please put me in that annexi? So every time I will be able to see Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Anyhow, I was making joke. So anyhow, and what he did, because he was unable to take his ships there, so for a long time, what he did at night, in dark, he was slaughtering the animals, bringing out the fats, melting it beside the ocean. Yes, I indicated it to the brothers there that this is the path. So there was a slippery path for walking. So he was putting that fat on that road. Got it? So when he asphalted that with fat, yes, and when they arrived there behind the chains, so at night he said to his army, bring out the ships outside. So they brought it there and they took it there to the hill, and therefrom they slipped it on that road to the other side of the chain, and here once again they put it in the ocean. Yes, and the Christian army, they didn't find all this process until he knocked at the door. And he started the catapult and hitting them, and then they surrender and submitted. God, what a man he was. What a strategy. Got it? So anyhow, Sayyidina Muawiyah radiyallahu ta'ala an, for the said purpose, he made two armies, land army and the navy, the sea army. In year number 48, under the command of Sufyan ibn Auf, he sent this army. In this army, look, what a great people. Abdullah ibn Abbas was there. Abdullah ibn Umar was there. Abdullah ibn Zubair was there. Abu Ayyub Ansari in old age. He was unable to hold himself on the camel even. Got it? That old. So he said that when it come to camel, so tie me on the camel. So his sons told him, Baba, we are going. So you should stay home. He said, no. When Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was staying in my house for 14 days and nights or more. Yes. So he asked me for a word that Abu Ayyub, whenever a mission or expedition will go in the path of Allah, you will join it. So I said, yes, for sure I will join. He said, after that word, I never missed any expedition in the path of Allah. So he said that as I have not made any exemption or exception, so that's why I am bound by my tongue. I have to go. Yes. And he said that if I died in the ship on my way, so don't throw me there in the ocean. As much as or as long as you can take my dead body towards Constantinople, so take me. At least that journey of mine will be counted in the court of Allah as well. And thus, that took him there. He died there. When he died there, so he said that, look, bury me close to the wall. Got it? So they buried him close to the wall of the city. To the wall? Of the city. So his grave is there. And that county is called what? Say, Ayyub Sultan. Yes, EYUP. Because Turkey writing different. Ayyub Sultan. Yes, I asked one big shot there that you call him Sultan. He said that here in Turkey, the Sultan are given lot of respect. Even after their death. The Turkish people, they are giving them lot of respect. So Sultan Abdul Hamid, he said that Abu Ayyub, he would be called Sultan Ayyub. Because if that is not, so maybe later on the people will not be giving that respect, which he is deserving more than as he is Sahabi of Rasulullah sallallahu. So he said that that's why, yes, so officially he is named as Sultan Ayyub or Ayyub Sultan. Got it or not it? So, anyhow, later on, Sayyidina Muawiyah raziyallahu ta'ala an, he appointed his son Yazid, a young man, as Amir on that askar. And as he was a young man, so he said to his wife and the mother of Yazid, she was Persian, that you will join him. Yes, you should not leave your son alone. He is a young man. So she said, of course, I will. And there, a Sahabi, his name is Ubadah ibn Samit, raziyallahu ta'ala an. Very big general, Ubadah ibn Samit. But very strict man. Very strict man. Ubadah, where is his grave? In Jerusalem. Yes, close to Baitul Maqdis, a little bit distance. Ubadah ibn Samit, raziyallahu ta'ala an. So, in that old age, he was married to a lady, Hiram bint Malhan. Hiram bint Malhan is the sister of Sulaim bint Malhan. Sulaim is the mother of Anas ibn Malik raziyallahu ta'ala an. And this Sulaim and Hiram both are related to Amina, the mother of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, cousins. So that's why they are called the Khala of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And they both Khala, they were in love with the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Even sometime Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he used to go from masjid straight to their house for breakfast. Yes, and they were very happy. Sulaim or Hiram, whichever house he went. So once he came to the house of Hiram, so he was leaning to a wall like this. Yes. And between sleep and awake, yeah, and suddenly he opened his eyes and he smiled. So Mihram noticed it. He said, Rasulullah, what happened? So he said that I received a message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he told me, Allah told me in that message, that whosoever will conquer Constantinople, he will be your adjacent neighbor in Jannah. So Mihram said, Ya Rasulullah, can you make a dua? Yes. So I may be one of them. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, yes. I made a dua, you will be in that army. So now look, when something goes from beloved mouth there to the angels of Malayala, that got registered there. That is waiting for the time. Got it? So when Ubadah ibn Samit raziyallahu ta'ala, after this decision of Muawiyah, he came to him. So he said, Amir al-Mu'minin, what's going on? He said, I arranged an army for Constantinople. Be ready to be in that army. He said, okay. Otherwise, he was an old man. He said, I will be. Yes. So he came home and he told his wife that make my stuff. Army is going to Constantinople. But when he was leaving, so Muawiyah told me and Ubadah, he said, yes, Amir al-Mu'minin. He said, if you can take your wife with you, because Yazid's mom is alone. So at least in the army she should have one lady with. So when he asked that make my stuff, so Mihram said, where the army is going? He said, to Constantinople. So she said, what about me? Because he recalled his mind that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam made a dua. That what about me? He said, yes. Amir al-Mu'minin said that she will go with you. So she, yes. But when they came out of ship and she mounted on a camel, so the camel rushed, and when it rushed, so on the beach, she fell down, hit her head with the big rock, and she died on the spot. And they buried her there. People are going and visiting her grave. I was supposed to, but I couldn't go. Yes. And that is written there, Al-Mar'atul Mujahida fi Sabilillah. Yes. So the Turkish people, they are giving her a lot of respect. That this was Al-Mar'atul Mujahida fi Sabilillah. So anyhow, that was, and after that, we will go towards North Africa. That what Sayyidina Muawiyah did in North Africa. Our student, his name is Ahmad Imran. He is very committed student. Always he comes for dars after dars. وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه محمد وآله أصحابه أجمعين.